Friends, we welcome you back to Rhodes Arena here on the campus of the University of Akron. Final score today in women's college basketball. The Zips over Kent State by a score of 77-51. Welcome back to our post-game show where we're joined by head coach Danny O'Banion. And, well, Danny, the Zips came out with that 2-3 zone. They stuck with it today. The Flashes struggled a little bit from outside, and they were able to pack it in there. What were the factors about that zone that really turned things for the Zips today?
Well, one of the things that we told our players was that Akron did have some concerns coming into the game about how they would match up with us because they changed their starting lineup. And so we told our kids that was a positive for us before the game even started, that they felt like they needed to adjust to our lineup. And then they played that 2-3 zone. Again, it's a credit to our team that in previous outings, our interior game has been impactful. And so Akron made a strategic decision to pack it in and make us score from the outside. Interestingly, I still felt like we got really good opportunities for CC and Montia early. I thought all of us had a chance to make a bunny today, and we just didn't. And so that's frustrating because we were prepped to be successful against the zone, and we were getting high percentage shots. We did not put them in. So, a lot of credit goes to Akron. They hadn't played that much zone against anybody all year, and they picked us, and that worked for them.
I was talking with Waikeitha Harrell on the pregame show today, Danny, about the outside shooting woes and not hitting some open shots when it's well within their range or well within their ability level to knock down shots. She feels that sometimes it's a confidence issue for a player to step into those shots and put it up there with confidence. Is that a problem for some of these girls right now?
If we say that's a problem, that's a cop-out. Quite frankly, we're all Division I basketball players, and the gym is available 24 hours a day. During semester break, we did have shooting practices, and we saw our field goal percentages improve at that point in time. Now with the resumption of classes, now we need to make sure we're getting those additional shots up. So, teams have tough shooting nights sometimes. It happens to Akron as it happens to us, but we've got to find a way to be tough enough to make the ball go in. And tonight it was frustrating because we gave away too many possessions, 27 turnovers, led by our point guards with a total of 15 between them. Again, we're going to get back in the film room. We're going to get back on the practice court and help them understand where the better passes are because they're available. We just have to continue to work at it. I know we'll get there.
27 turnovers, and the key, of course, is what the other team does with them. And Akron was very opportunistic. They scored 28 points off of those turnovers. Danny, it's not only getting the turnover, but doing something with it afterward, right?
No question. And, that's what makes Akron good. They play that up-tempo style. They're not necessarily interested in being defensive stoppers, and that's in no disrespect to them. They're not hanging their hats on being a half-court defensive team. And so that plays to their advantage when we give them the basketball in a live ball situation. When I talked about how dangerous it is to give the basketball up without there being a whistle involved. So we continue to learn that lesson. It's starting to get more and more painful, but I'm just telling you, we're going to get there with this team this year. We're going to continue to work at it. You're starting to see some light bulbs come on, and you're starting to see our preparation habits start to shift to a more appropriate level. And so I'm really excited about what lies ahead for this team.
Danny, Ashley Evans fouled out of the ball game. 2 of her fouls, at least that I can recall, came on loose balls, diving to the floor, going after a ball where there really was no possession. She was called on a foul. What's the explanation of the officials when a call like that goes against a player diving for the ball? What's the rule there? What do we need to look for?
Well, in those scenarios, 2 things. Number 1, we can't be the last guy on the floor. And number 2, in being the last guy on the floor, it makes it more obvious to the officials if we've gone through another player to get the basketball. So 2 of Ashley's fouls tonight, she was the last guy on the floor. She did end up with the basketball, but she cut somebody out. She went under somebody to get it. So we appreciate the hustle. But again, at the end of the day, especially in these rivalry games, lay on the ball and be the first one on it. And if they tie it up, fine, but at least they don't get the basketball and you get a foul.
A lot of it's the appearance there for the official.
No question.
Makes it an easy call.
It's a timing issue. But at the end of the day, the officiating was not an issue tonight. We just have to continue to work to make the ball go in. and stay with our game plan.
Well, Danny, as everyone heard today, Larissa Lurkin missing the second straight game. What's her prognosis, and will we see her anytime soon?
She'll get reevaluated this week, and so obviously we're missing Larissa, and I think this has been a valuable time for her from a learning perspective. This is the first time in Larissa's athletic career, we asked her, first time she's missed a practice, first time then that she's missed a game.
Wow.
So she's learning how to be a teammate in a different capacity, and we really do try to maximize every opportunity. So you hear Larissa's voice more in practice, and we're hopeful that when she gets back on the floor, she's going to, maintain that presence from a vocal standpoint, because like we've talked about before, Larissa understands a lot of things about what it takes to be a successful basketball player and a successful basketball team. So we need her voice a little bit more present.
Well, Danny, we appreciate you coming over. Keep your chin up, and those of the players as well. Another big game coming up on Wednesday night at home against a Central Michigan team. We know how good they have been and are, and it'll be a tough matchup. We need people out there, right?
Yep, we'll be excited to have everybody in the Mac Center on Wednesday, 7 p.m. tip. Central Michigan is one of the best. I would guess that they're probably going to be one of the top 50 teams in America when it's all said and done. And so we have a great opportunity to get better on Wednesday night, and we're going to maximize that.
Danny, have a good night.
Thanks, Dave.
All
Go
right.
Flashes.
That's Danny O'Banion joining us here, as she always does, on our post-game show.